Someone in the Appalachian Mountains captured a video that has people completely unsettled. At first glance, the figure in the distance looks like a bird.
We do have a civilization of humans that broke out of the ice wall before the last reset, the Ancestral Republic. These lands were discovered by William Morris whenever he escaped the ice wall.
This aired on Adult Swim in October 2018.
Man, what's good with the collective? Y'all know we back with another banger, another reaction. I appreciate everybody who been tapping in, running up at 7 up. If you new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell so you always notified whenever we drop them uploads. Y'all know we coming with about 4 videos every smooth 7. And this is for entertainment purposes as well. And when you like and comment and subscribe to the channel, helps collective grow, helps collective get bigger, helps more people who like this type of content tap in with this content. But I appreciate you. If you're watching on your TV, whatever the case is, I wish it was smooth 7. Might be a trigger warning or 2. I hope not. But I did have to go ahead and say, man, with the trigger warnings, I try to make sure I give y'all that from the video, like from the beginning. Because while I'm looking for content and I'm scrolling, bro, I can't tell y'all how many times I've seen some of the most craziest unalivings, some of the most craziest things I've seen on the internet, and they didn't give me a trigger warning. And I done been in the comment section, and even people in the comments was like, bro, we need a trigger warning. So I try to make sure I look out for everybody who comes to my channel to check this out, because I know what it feel like, bro, to see some crazy shit and you be like, I can't unsee it. So I be trying to look out for y'all. I'm trying to make sure I'm being considerate. Also, if y'all dropped a comment and I missed it, I apologize. I be trying to get to all of them. As y'all know, I be in the comment section rocking out. I be trying to make sure I get to everybody. If you've commented and I have not seen it or responded, I still appreciate it. And I'm going to tell you that right now. I appreciate everybody's comment. Everybody took the time out their day to show some love. So I appreciate it. So if I didn't see it or love it before, I'm telling y'all right now. So thank you. I'll get to everybody's comment very, 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 very soon. I be going through the old ones too, still. So with that being said, I ain't gonna hold you. Y'all know what it is. Let's get straight to the video, man. Let's go.
No puede ser. ¿Es real?
Look at the honey buns, y'all. Look at the honey buns moving. Why the honey buns moving? What's that? They tearing the honey buns up. This is the biggest one I've seen. Now look at this one. This one might be pregnant, so it might produce more rats. And he's going to your count area.
Someone in the Appalachian Mountains captured a video that has people completely unsettled. At first glance, the figure in the distance looks like a bird, almost like a crow, standing near the tree line. But as the camera slowly zooms in, something feels very wrong. The figure isn't hopping, it isn't flying. It's walking upright, like a human. And if you look closely at its feet, they don't look like claws. They look disturbingly human. The entire body is pitch black, tall and thin, and it appears to be holding some kind of curved object. Many say it looks like a scythe. After the video was posted, the comments exploded. Some believe it's a symbol of death. Others say it could be one of the unknown entities, long rumored to exist in the Appalachians. But the most unsettling part is what the person filming said afterward. The moment they realized it wasn't a bird, the figure seemed to be watching them too. So what do you think? Just a strange illusion, or something that was never meant to be seen?
There's scary things in lakes all of the time, but this might be the worst one. So this is Kim Davidson. This photo was taken in Australia in a swimming hole. I'm not for sure which one, but she has this child, this one, and this one. She was there swimming with her friend, but when the friend took the photo, they didn't see this at the time, but then looking at it later, this showed up. Kim did an interview with a paranormal group, and when they asked her about it, she was like, I'm holding the little girl, and then the white-headed thing that looks like it has horns, I don't know what that is, and I don't know why it has skeletal long fingers on my shoulder, something along those lines. I'm paraphrasing, but they have no idea who this is. Well, then they started like digging into who it could possibly be, and they came across this. On November 23rd, 1913, a teenager named Doreen O'Sullivan drowned in an Australian swimming hole. The same one. Here it is with the image inverted, and you can see all of the other children have, faces, and that one doesn't. So here's a closer image of it, and again, if things like this could be in the lake or huge fish or whatever, I don't care. I don't want anything brushing up against me that I can't see. I don't like being in water that I can't see the bottom of, and that's one of the main reasons too that I will not get in lakes. But yeah, I mean, I'll get in them, but I don't like it, and I don't stay long when I do. So what do you guys think about this?
That was a skinwalker. What? Follow him. I videoed it.
The following video was captured by a man named Carlos Leon out of Pine Top, Arizona, around January 21st, 2026. His home security camera captured something absolutely unexplainable and weird. For a few seconds, around 2 a.m. in the morning, everything was pitch black, and then suddenly it lit up as if it was daytime, and then it went dark again. They have no idea what caused this. Take a look at this video, comment below, tell me what you think. There is one thing we have to stop doing, and that's normalizing unexplainable, weird events. This is one of those. This isn't something that you can easily explain away. It leads to more questions we should be asking. Is this alien or is this military? And keep in mind, there were no active police presence going on around 2 o'clock in the morning in Pine Top. If you're from Arizona, you know Pine Top is a very small rural town. But there is one thing we are very famous for, and that was Travis Walton's abduction in Strawberry, Arizona. Take a look at this, comment below, tell me what you think.
I don't know. I can't answer that one.
The Ouzoud waterfall in Morocco dramatically changed colour during the flood. What was once clear water turned into a muddy torrent, leaving people stunned by the sight. Imagine this. A heavy downpour has washed away the soil to the point where a slow-moving stream of water can shift a huge section of land. That's how a massive landslide happens. In a public park in China, visitors have discovered a truly unusual tree. Its trunk looks like it's woven from a wooden web, as if dozens of thin branches have fused into a single living organism.
Somebody over there.
Over where?
Right there.
Hey! What are you doing over there?
What was that? All right. I can get the TV.
Where did it go?
Hello?
Where did it go, Carly?
Now, we saw the first half of that clip, but I remember seeing that whole clip. The only thing that make me say is fake is the fact that he didn't have his daughter go in the house. He had his daughter follow him. To me, any parent, any man, father, gonna be like, look, get in the house, I got this, and he gonna go. Let me know if that's a reach. If you disagree, it's perfectly fine. I respect it. Let me know your thoughts.
Patriots, this just in, there has been an awakening. iShowSpeed has been in Egypt. He's the first live streamer to ever go into the pyramids. It's intense. And the expressions from the Black American community here on TikTok and online is overwhelming. Because he's going into these museums and he asks a question. He said, why are all the noses missing? Why are the noses missing from all of the Egyptian statues, or a lot of them? And he asked the woman that, and she says, oh, it's because that's that's where it was the weakest part. Then, no. The truth is because Black Americans come from kings and queens and royalty. And they were brought here through slavery, had their names and history stolen from them. And people are literally like crying online hearing this. And this is kind of something I've kind of known, you know, for a little bit, but it's interesting how when something hits you, it almost reminds me of Juneteenth, how people were free from slavery, but they didn't know. And it was like, once they got the word, was Juneteenth. And it almost feels like this is a liberation for Black Americans to realize that some people are saying the American dream they've been sold is BS. That your lineage, your roots are greatness of kings and queens and royalty, and Lord knows in Egypt, the technology that we have no idea about. That's Black culture. That's Black American culture. That's African culture. A lot of people are saying, I had no clue. They thought Africa was just poor and, you know, kids sitting around with flies on their, you know, belly and stuff. No, it's beautiful. It's prosperous. It's like Wakanda. But they've just been hiding it from you. So I think there's a beautiful day of awakening. Hey, it's like Juneteenth all over. Wishing everybody well. iShowSpeed, beautiful work. Beautiful work. It's about awakening people and letting them know their true potential. Secret Service Sam Out Sampson for president of TikTok.
Mermaids might be from the hood. They might be from the trenches. Bro, I know y'all gonna hate to hear this, but a lot of these entities, these foreign entities that we've been citing might be from the hood. Black, POC. Did y'all hear about the lady in Detroit who was working like on the coast and she quit because she said she went and saw a nest of mermaids underneath the pier in Detroit? She said the only reason she noticed it was because she heard like some ratchet laughing, like some rambunctious laughing, like a whole bunch of women laughing, like real ratchet type laughing. So she said she went to go check at the end because she like, hold on, it's way too cold for these women to be out here. Like, what are they doing? Let me go see what's tea. So she said she walks over there and sees a batch of mermaids under there. She said she must have put BTA and start running, knee to chest. And it's not the first case of this batch of mermaids that's like in Detroit, bro. This one dude said that he was turning up. He said he had just lost somebody or something. All this stuff is actually, you can see it on TikTok, search it up. He said that he had lost somebody, so he went to go celebrate, or, you know, just, you know how you pour out a little liquor for the homies. He said they was at the end of the rocks by the coast where she said they was at. He said he was pouring out the liquor and they appeared, bro. So they came for the turn up. They from the hood, they from the trenches. And it's starting to make sense, y'all, because in the Caribbean, they call them river mamas. They be in the rivers, they be in the swamps. They not just in the ocean, y'all. They be in the hood with it. The hood with it. And now that I'm thinking about it, all these other entities might be from the hood too. You gotta think about the nature of these entities, y'all. They don't sound a little ratchet, like they about that life though. And it's always the black people that get saved by the mermaids, or that have stories of being saved by the mermaids, or the POC, not just black, because it be brown people getting saved by the mermaids too. Now don't get me wrong, it is some sinister ones, but that's with any species. There's sinister everywhere. Y'all, am I onto something? Are these entities low-key from the trenches?
So I just got home and I looked over to the side of my house and like, what the is this dirt? And then as we get closer, what the is this? What is this? Is this poop? Is this some kind of poop? What is this? Is this dirt? Is this poop dirt? What? Why does it look like caviar? What is this? Someone explain to me. Because I don't know what this is
I wouldn't touch it. Man, y'all be sending me some crazy shit, I tell you.
We do have a civilization of humans that broke out of the ice wall before the last reset, the Ancestral Republic. These lands were discovered by William Morris whenever he escaped the ice wall. Now this was during the late 1700s whenever they found this map and were able to escape through the ice wall, as you can see here. And after they made it on the other side of the ice wall, they ran into the Ancestral Republic's ship. And this is where they met the humans who already live outside of the ice wall, who left before the last reset. Which the last reset was during the times of the Tartarian Empire, whenever the custodians and the Anunnaki came and the giants helped us to try to battle them. Now many of the humans who did escape were descendants of the Atlanteans from Atlantis, and that's how they built Tartaria in the first place, which is how they had the knowledge and the technology to build the Ancestral Republic. Which on the inside of the ice walls, all of our technology was lost and we were basically set back to the caveman days, which is when the Anunnaki came in and built the pyramids and tried to take over and act as if they were gods. But we do still have the humans that are our ancestors who exist in the Ancestral Republic who do want to come in and try to rescue us. They just have the custodians, Anunnaki, and the reptilians to battle against, and the Anunnaki and custodians are far more advanced than the Ancestral Republic.
So y'all, I just heard that the reason for this ice storm is because they trying to freeze Leviathan. So you're trying to freeze a dragon that's under the water. So you proceed to try to freeze everybody else too? Like, let's make it make sense. You're trying to freeze a dragon that's waking up under the water. I don't think that's gonna work, guys. Whatever Mother Nature wants to do, whatever the supernatural wants to do, they're gonna do it. And if you don't know about Leviathan, look it up. But this is crazy. I feel like just let him come out. Just let him come out. I'm tired of paying bills.
Cameras really work because I'm seeing through my eyes, right?
But how does this portal, black portal that we hold in our hand, capture real life? And then you could scroll back years on end. How does it work? We see through these eyes, God-given eyes, neurons and all types of electrons firing through our eyes. What does the camera have? Wires? How does that even work? How can it truly capture an image that we see with our God-given eyes? How did we create another pair of eyes? Really think about this. How can a camera even record a video? We're seeing things and it's capturing it, and then you can go back and look at it. There's something we don't know about going on with the phones and this advanced technology. This is super advanced. How can you see me right now? It doesn't make any sense. How can you see me, bro? I'm not even in the same state, not even the same timeline as you, but you can still see me. All the timelines exist at one time, because there's no way. I mean, he got some valid questions. Very valid.
It's a fox. Bye, fox. Look, there's another fox. Okay, my zoom doesn't work. What the f is that? There he is. And there he is. What the f?
Is that a reach? Or what y'all think?
Oh, I found a glitched person. Just wait. They look like they're running, right? They're not.
Is this just an illusion?
They're staying in place. They've been there for like 2 minutes. What?
By this time, multiple minutes have gone by and the person doesn't seem to have moved anywhere. Are we looking at a glitch? Unanswered universe.
The shit we see nowadays. I gotta call AI on that one.
I'm outside. I'm outside. It doesn't say out here. And I've just been ordered to leave the premises. And she's yelling at me right now, so I'm gonna head back to my car and try and keep you abreast of the situation.
All right, when it comes, if I don't say this, I wouldn't be doing God's work. So I got and I gotta do that. When Epstein had his island rocking and rolling, he's one of the biggest. You know, he had one of the biggest blackmail rings, right? People he got on his list sometimes are politicians, sometimes are movie stars, sometimes are entertainers. There's sometimes congressmen, stuff like that. You know, people with a lot of say-so, a lot of power. They can make a lot of motion move. They got a lot of motion. A lot of the people that was coming over here, I get it. They may not have came the right way, but and some of them have backgrounds and some of them have records, right? Some of them do dirt. Some of them break the law here when they get here. Correct. But considering Epstein was getting away with what he was getting away with on his island with the people that he was getting away with it with, and that list is still yet to come out, I'm going to go ahead and say the biggest threat isn't them who was coming taking children. I'm going to say the biggest threat was actually the people who's still in charge sometimes with certain decisions. You get what I mean? And that man that had that island, he's still here. So, in my opinion, it's for entertainment, what I'm saying. And like I said, if I didn't say what I'm saying, I'm not doing God's work. But that's my opinion. If you disagree, I still respect it. At the end of the day, we on the same team. You just looking at it from a different perspective than I am. But we both care about the same thing. You just might think it's somebody else doing it. You get what I mean? So I'm not at war with you. I'm actually on your side, but we just got two different people we looking at to point the finger at. You get what I mean? With all due respect. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts, man. I couldn't sit here and not say nothing, man. I couldn't.
Y'all, it's getting crazy, fool. This man, Ian Connor, just said that A$AP Rocky was the one that unalived A$AP Yams. A$AP Yams. Him right here. And for years, a lot of people speculated that maybe he did have something to do with it. Because you know A$AP into them little dark things. Things like this. Shit crazy, fool. This is only part 1. I'm going to do a part 2 for y'all too, because it ties into the Michelle Lammy shit. But look, he went on X and this man said, Rocky, unalive Yams. I don't even care no more. It is what it is. I know in the back of his mind, he's saying he don't care no more. But he know saying this shit comes with some repercussions. Somebody said, playing with your dead mans to get at Rocky ain't trill. He said, killing your mans for self-gain ain't trill. How many times have we heard in the music industry or in the entertainment industry in general that things like this happens and people always sweep it under the rug? Now, I'm not saying he did it, but he's saying he did it. And it's for y'all down below in the comments to type, to write, to let me know what y'all think.
Wouldn't it be crazy if 7 people lost their lives the other day when a private jet crashed on the runway at an airport in Maine? I mean, no, it wouldn't, because there's been like crazy snowstorms. Here's the crazy thing though. The plane that crashed was owned by a Houston law firm. They were actually specifically a law firm that specialized in some pretty high profile cases. $8 billion verdict against Johnson & Johnson. $2 billion verdict for Roundup victims. And recently, they had been taking on a new massive case. ICE. Yes. And wouldn't it be crazy if the runway was, guess which number the runway was? 33! On top of that, Kurt Arnold and Jason Itkin, 2 of the attorneys who died in the plane crash, well, they were well-known Democrats, but they had started funding the Texas Republicans so that they could get in on their side. It's a cluster. Wouldn't it be crazy?
I had to say 33. That's the only number I could think of. 47, 33, 13, something like that. But, yeah, that shit crazy, bro. You can't make this shit up. Like, it's the same shit, different day.
Somebody said, do you believe in the firmament, Matt? I've looked into this. This is interesting. You look into Operation Fishbowl, I believe, where they were sending missiles up into the firmament to try to destroy it so that they could break through to go to the moon. I think that was 1950s and 60s. It's interesting because the Simpsons TV show shows this like dome over us and how like we're not going anywhere. And when you look at all these old maps, every single old map shows this firmament above, like this dome above. And so when you start to look at even like the 1400s, 1500s, 1300s maps, you see this dome all above us, like as somebody just said, like a fishbowl. And it's just above us, and that's why nobody's going really anywhere. Like, nobody's really going anywhere. That's why, like, they had to fake the moon landing to make people believe that we were going somewhere. That's pretty much what it is. Everything is internal. Like, everything is much closer than what we really kind of think about. Like, you're told things are millions of miles away, but they chemtrail the skies, and they just completely block the sun, and you can see it's very close. Same with the moon. Same when there's an eclipse. When you see an eclipse, this is the most mind-blowing thing. I've done videos on this and gotten banned about this. You do a video on the eclipse looks like a portal. You stare at the eclipse with your bare eyes, and your eyes begin to heal, and it opens up your third eye. So everything is very close to us. It is much different than what they've told us where everything's like millions of miles away. You know, they always do that whole millions of miles away.
Let me know your thoughts. I love his work.
Here's one very disputed here. You can look at this on Google Earth here. That's the coordinates right here. Ritz-Carlton, Half Moon Bay, California. You can really see it from the beach. Officially, the narrative is this was a support structure for a building they were going to build on top of it, but there is the golf course, I believe, right, that goes right through it here. They were going to build a support structure for a building, but it failed and they decided not to. So they just left this whole thing in ruin. And you can see from Google Earth view of Half Moon Bay, if you click on the actual like Half Moon Bay itself, not like on top, you can see the pillars and they look like very old Greek Roman pillars. All right, here we go. Looks like they completely removed it in this picture. Yeah, you can still kind of see the columns on Earth view right there. They run all the way along the side. And when you go to the street view here on it, let's see if that's still there. Click on one of the ones off the beach. Yeah, there we go. Take a look at that. Look at how old those pillars look. They say it was a relatively temporary structure that was made to house a building on top, but it was never to fruition. But look how far down those columns go. Closer view on it. Go a little over time today. It's already past 12, but that's okay because we had some computer issues at the beginning. And tomorrow's show, what we're going to do here, open lines Friday as usual. Look at that. Look at that massive pillars, and most of them are just in ruin now, just sitting there.
For the story to be what it was, like that had to be through the Rams to be able to get to where we wanted to go in the NFC Championship in that moment. The script writers did a great job with that one. I tell you what.
Man, best NBA and NFL scripted, bro.
This aired on Adult Swim in October 2018, and it's one of the most disturbing commercials that I've ever seen. And they call it art, surrealism, just visuals. But look at the layout. 3 figures with triangle heads. Triangles are seen as a hierarchy, direction, control. That's almost a ceremony shape. And then the baby is treated more like a offering, taken down and then returned as something that looks demonic. And that's the oldest storyline in ritual imagery. Death, transformation, rebirth. Here's what gets me. Showing it all over TV. You're supposed to accept it. Now watch the middle figure again. This is the part that most people miss, because once you clock it, it stops feeling like art. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below.
I swear to God, am I tripping? There's a mountain lion. What is that?
What has been coined as the New World is actually far older than you have been told. The United States. The United States of Mudflood. This was the true old world. Dug up and repurposed. Modern renovation work reveal this founded Freemasonry, going much deeper than thought, looking much older than should be, and iconic construction projects from coast to coast, looking more like excavation work than laying of new tracks. And of course, one of my favorites of all, Kansas City, Missouri, looking like the excavation and unburying of Rome, complete with those destroyed and buried red brick structures. From coast to coast, and all points in between, from the stories of the silly undergrounds, forgotten and buried in nearly every city, to the rock walls in Rockwall County, Texas. With all these ruins in America being unearthed daily, that's not even including all the giant remains collected and hidden at the Smithsonian. America is rich with buried history just waiting to be found, even in my hometown of Rockford, Illinois. Question everything, friends. Until next time.
They found the mountain lion, and I guess they're trying to get it released. One animal in control, 2. The zoo just popped up right now. I was like, what the heck, the zoo? Another one, and it's standing there. I guess they're trying to figure out how to get that one there. Heck of police. They've been here since 5 a.m. Finally going in. Taking forever. Finally saw them go in with a bunch of, I think, tranquilizers. Let's see if I can sit here long enough to see the mountain lion.
I know some people said it was AI. What y'all think now?
Have you guys heard of the Holy City in the Santa Cruz Mountains? Because apparently it's like one of like a bunch of ghost towns out there. So the Holy City in the Santa Cruz Mountains was founded by William E. Riker, who was their cult leader. And the way he founded the town was literally by all his followers putting their own money into this property and building it into a town. So his ideology was that he was going to preach the perfect Christian divine way. And apparently divine to him is celibacy, white supremacy, race segregation, and sexism. And because of these strange road signs, it actually attracted a lot of tourists too. And the Holy City is 142 acres. And just for reference, this is the property lines for Holy City. It was purchased in 2016 by billionaires couple in Silicon Valley, and we will get into that. And to accommodate the income that comes with tourists, they had a zoo, an observatory, they had a restaurant, they had a service station, barbershops, shoe repair, and ironically, a peep show, because apparently that's part of the divine Christian way. And funny enough, this being like a religious city, they had no church. So in 1926, the town was officially incorporated. And it started with only like 30 or 40 followers of this preacher. At its peak, it had about 300 followers and residents of this town. But by 1938, there were only 75 men and 4 women. They even had a radio station. They were only on the air for about a year because when their license renewal came up, it was denied for irregularities. AKA talking about white supremacy. And part of the reason why they got a lot of tourism is because Old Santa Cruz Highway used to be the only route from San Jose to Santa Cruz. When they built Highway 17 and they stopped the trains from coming through, that's when it started to decline. And that's also why we have a lot of ghost towns in the Santa Cruz Mountains. So this is William Riker and his wife Lucille. By the way, this is actually his 3rd wife because, you know, that's the divine Christian way. And because they were religious, he was considered the father and she was considered the mother. This was William and Lucille's home. It was up on the hill so that they can overlook the Holy City. I find it funny that he got married at all because he preaches celibacy. And he also preached the absence of like material possessions, but yet he had like the biggest house in town. Also, because he took all of the money from his followers, he also had a brand new Cadillac. Eventually, he convinced his followers that he was God and that the Holy City was the kingdom. Apparently, the kingdom was the key to everlasting life. Also, he had dorms for men and women so that they would live separately to ensure celibacy. So it's still funny to me that he lived with his wife and no one else got to. Anyways, this video is getting really long. Go to part 2 if you want to hear the rest.
Oh, I gotta hear part 2. I ain't never heard of that.
Antarctica might just be the scariest place on Earth because it's somewhere that scientists don't want us to know anything about until now. Look at this shit. Scientists just found a hidden prehistoric world underneath Antarctica's ice that's been frozen for 34 million years. They just released the most detailed map we've ever had of what's under Antarctica's ice. We know so little about Antarctica, and Antarctica is so protected. Why are they releasing this now? What they just mapped is not flat. They found entire mountain ranges, deep canyons, over 72,000 hills that were completely hidden. Stuff frozen in place longer than humans existed. And they didn't drill for this. They didn't dig it up. They reverse engineered it. They used satellites and physics to study how ice bends, how it flows, how it reacts to what's underneath. Basically reading the ice like a mole pressed over something massive. One of the channels they found is almost 400 kilometers long and almost 6 kilometers wide. That's not a crack. That's not erosion. That's an ancient drainage system from millions of years ago. If there's valleys, plateaus, and razor-sharp ridges under there, what else has been sealed off? And here's the part that's crazy. They're just giving us half the story. What did Admiral Byrd say when he went behind the ice wall? Because they made it seem like he was lying. He said he seen living beings. He said he seen a world like our own. And now just randomly, they're telling us that it's another world under the ice. Now ask yourself this. Why is Antarctica so restricted? Why is it the one place that nobody is allowed to freely explore? Because you don't accidentally hide an entire continent worth of terrain. And you don't suddenly map it in 2026 unless something matters. Now I jump down a rabbit hole, and this is what they tell you on Google. But if you want to jump down a rabbit hole, search Antarctica and see everything that they say. And see everything that says the people that they say look like us. The world that they're saying is inside of a world. That big hole that military forces are protecting. And then ask yourself, why are they letting out this information right now? Pay attention.
Wouldn't it be crazy if all this society that we're living in, was built off of ancient Masonic architecture and symbols? This is all from a rabbit hole I fell down. Secrets in Plain Sight. I highly recommend y'all go watch this YouTube doc. Mind-blowing. I'm not going to be able to do the architecture part of it justice, but let's start with the number 33, shall we? I mean, at the gate off the top of the head, right? Jesus died when he was 33, 33 miracles. There's 33 vertebrae in the human spine, actually. The Schumann resonance comes out to about 33 hertz, I think. Harmonics, 33 harmonics. The Schumann resonance is the natural frequency of Earth. How about the fact that Buzz Aldrin held up a Masonic flag on the moon? How about the fact that the United Nations symbol has the country carved into 33 sections? How about the fact that the runway connecting the NASA takeoff landings is called Runway 33? What the f***?
I'll be honest with y'all. The clip with the Grand Canyon, I haven't really been, like, looking at that made me remember a lot. You know, if that even makes sense. So some will understand that, some will understand that, some won't. And it really just, it really makes me unhappy to really see that used to be something. And the fact that they hiding that from us. Why y'all hiding it from us? I got a million reasons why I think. I just need that confirmation, bro. What's y'all thoughts?
Hollywood's leading men are making themselves immortal using the blood of young women.
Whoa. Here I come. Oh, here I come. Oh.
Hollywood immortals?
The Illuminati has spread their message using the charisma of actors for centuries, but get this, they found a way to keep them alive so their star power never dies.
Hollywood's leading men are making themselves immortal using the blood of young women. They're all hundreds of years old.
And every ageless leading man is one of them.
That's why they all date 19-year-old models who we never see again, for their blood.
Shit, I have to go to my next cleanup job.
Is that a reach? Is it not? Y'all let me know. But how y'all feeling about today's rollout? Y'all know we made it to the end of this, and if you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell so you always notified whenever we drop them uploads. Y'all know we coming with about 4 videos every smooth 7, and this is for entertainment purposes as well. And when you like and comment and subscribe to the channel, helps Collective grow, helps Collective get bigger, helps more people who like this type of content. Tap in with this content. Don't forget to hype the video up as well. I appreciate you if you watch it on your TV, whatever the case is. I wish it was smooth 7. I love y'all, Collective. Till I see everybody in the next one, y'all know what it is. We gone.
Ay, yeah, I just check my account. Sheesh, at the amount. You probably know it.